The Haunting Tale of Jack Johnson. Hi, I'm Jack Johnson, and tonight I'll unveil a terrifying real-life tale, one drenched in despair and crawling with shadows. This is the story of a haunted house, where a sinister skinwalker prowls the unlit halls. But before I take you into the cursed residence, you must first hear about the tragic fate of my sister and mother. Let the darkness embrace you as we delve into horror. It feels like a lifetime ago when my family lived in bliss. I had an elder sister, Mary, radiant at 21, while I wandered through youth at Scene. On August 16th, 2016, a day meant for celebration turned into an unthinkable nightmare. 2 days before her birthday, my father planned an extravagant party. Mary invited friends, including one who was more foe than ally. "Do we really have to do this?" I asked my father, uneasily. "Nothing will happen, son," he assured. How wrong he was. On her birthday, Mary looked angelic, unaware of the devil she had welcomed. Her friend's quiet words lured her to the washroom. A scream, sharp and unnatural, shattered the evening. Rushing in, my blood turned icy. Mary was lifeless, betrayed and slaughtered by one she trusted. This was only the beginning. The horrors to come would pale even this tragedy. Stay until the end, for the shadows haven't finished their tale.
After enduring a series of challenging events, our family decided that a trip might help us escape the lingering shadows of sorrow. However, before we could embark on this journey, I had to finish my 12th grade board exams. My subjects included chemistry, biochemistry, accounts, trigonometry, science, and physics, and the exams stretched over an exhausting month. Every day brought its own share of stress, as I pored over textbooks and formulas, determined to complete this chapter of my life. Finally, when the last exam ended, I felt a wave of relief, knowing the burden was lifted, at least temporarily. With my exams behind me, we began planning our getaway. Alaska became our destination of choice, offering the promise of breathtaking landscapes and the allure of adventure. I started preparing meticulously, gathering snacks, buying warm clothing, and packing other essentials. To distract myself from the weight of grief, I even spent time drawing a few sketches, imagining the snowy peaks and icy expanses we would soon explore. But just as the light seemed to be returning to our lives, tragedy struck once again. One afternoon, my mother set out in the car, heading for an errand. At a busy crossroad, a truck came barreling toward her vehicle at an alarming speed. It was a petroleum truck, and the impact was catastrophic. The collision sent the car rolling violently, shattering windows and crumpling metal. The sheer force of the crash was devastating, and my mother didn't survive. The truck, carrying its volatile cargo, exploded into a fiery inferno, leaving no chance for the driver to escape. It was a scene of utter destruction, and the news shattered us all. My father was inconsolable, retreating to his room where he wept for hours. I found myself spiraling into another wave of despair, the loss of my mother compounding the grief we were already carrying. It felt as though the universe was testing us in unimaginable ways. Yet, amidst the sorrow, we decided to continue with our plans to Alaska. Perhaps the trip could serve as a balm for our wounded spirits. Arriving in Alaska was like stepping into a dream. The icy wilderness stretched endlessly, and the air was crisp and invigorating. For the first time in weeks, I felt a spark of joy. We visited bustling cities and fascinating museums, immersing ourselves in the rich culture and history of the region. The snowy landscapes were enchanting, and I found solace in the simple yet profound pleasures of winter. I skied down towering mountains, feeling the rush of the cold wind against my face and the exhilaration of speed. Building snowmen with my family brought moments of laughter, and snowball fights became a playful outlet for our pent-up emotions. Ice skating on a frozen lake was a magical experience, the glassy surface reflecting the pale light of the winter sun. Each day in Alaska brought new discoveries and adventures, slowly knitting together the frayed edges of our hearts. The trip wasn't just an escape, it became a journey of healing. While the pain of losing my mother lingered, Alaska offered a glimpse of hope, a reminder that life could still hold beauty even in the midst of sorrow. It taught us to cherish the fleeting moments of happiness, and to find strength in each other as we navigated the challenges ahead. Though the journey to Alaska didn't erase the pain, it became a symbol of resilience. It marked the beginning of a slow but meaningful process of recovery, one snowflake at a time. We left Alaska with memories that would forever be etched in our hearts, a testament to the power of nature, love, and the...
Chapter 3: The Haunted House. After many days after the death of my sister and mother, we felt better. But one day, my father became very ill and he got admitted to the hospital. He was given many injections and medicines, but there was no evidence he would get well. One day, on the news, they told they made the cure for the disease my father had, so I rushed to the hospital and asked to inject that medicine to my father. But they told you have to pay a big fine as the medicine has just come to existence. I asked what the price is, and they told the price is $100 million, enough to buy a Formula One, F1. I had no money for that as I didn't have any job. I only had $11,863, just 1% of the money I had to pay. One day at the park, thinking about how I can pay for my father's treatment. By that time, a super-fast sonic speed person ran to me and showed me a newspaper saying, "If you come to the Lord Mansion and become a security guard for one night, you will earn $100 million. Then he ran away. That led me to deep thoughts, like I was thinking, how can I earn $100 million by just becoming a security guard? There is something fishy. But I had to for the sake of my father. At night, when I came to that location, I saw the owner of the mansion getting interviewed by the media. Then one time he said, "Nobody has ever been able to survive the night," which actually freaked me out. It was already night and I was getting bored and sleepy. By 1 o'clock at night, I saw a boy behind one houses cross the road. He looked creepy and looked familiar. Then one time it struck me, it was the same boy who showed me the newspaper. So I went to him to say thank you and to ask him to go home. But when I went there, he just disappeared. So I left him alone and went to the toilet. When I came out, I saw him staring at me and he scared me so much that I screamed loudly. He then ran inside the barricade and I followed him. But at one time, he once again ran out of the barricade and disappeared. Then the owner of the house came outside and asked me to come in, as it was too dangerous for me here. When I came in, he served me dinner and he ate it very fast, as if it was too good. But when I looked at it, it looked like watermelon. But when I tasted it, it tasted like pork. Then I felt something in my mouth, so I went to the toilet to figure out what it was. When I took it out of my mouth, it frightened me, as it was a human nail and finger. I thought, is he a monster or what? I found a door, and when I opened it, the staircase was taking me down to the basement. I went there, and in there was another door. When I opened it, there were many dead bodies, and they were all humans. I swear that he was a creature. Back at the kitchen, the owner was thinking, is he a skinwalker? But the only skinwalker in this house is me. He turned into a skinwalker and started chasing me. Back at the basement, I heard some breathing sound behind me, and when turned I saw the skinwalker looking at me, and I fell to the ground. I stood up and punched him on the face and ran to the main door, but as I was about to open it, that boy came in who was a ghost. They both were father and son. Then they both surrounded me and I had no way to escape, but I again punched the skinwalker, but this time he scratched me on my back and blood leaked out. I ran upstairs, and I was once again in a dead end, but there was a window, so I smashed it open. Then from the back I saw the skinwalker and the ghost, but I was lucky that there was a swimming pool below, so jumped down and ran away. I was lucky and the first one to survive that night. The skinwalker sent me $100 million as promised. I gave the money for my father's treatment, and he survived. I then found love, a job, and continued my life. The end. Moral of the story: never trust anyone else except the ones who know you and have spent a lot of time with you, like your parents. Make sure to like and subscribe for part 3 of The Mysterious Rock. A story by Ayan Raj. Ideas and views from Akshara. Directed and video creation by InVideo AI.